Could you please give me some examples in cases where you have been using EFT and where it worked very nice? What kind of people could I think of? That what kind of problems do they bring to you?
Well, yesterday I treated somebody for car sickness, and
Wow.
that was, I mean, it was really amazing because she said, I've got this car sickness, and she had to go in the car again, and she came to visit, and she had to go in the car and on a windy road, and yeah, she was really feeling like, oh, so the first thing I did was, how does car sickness feel like? And she said, well, it starts with a kind of dizzy feeling in my head. Okay, all right. What do you do when you feel this dizzy feeling? She said, well, I think that I have to focus, but I don't focus because I start looking at other things, and I start being afraid that it will set on and that I will have that I will be sick. Yeah, and so yeah, so it made her cramp. It made her really tight when this dizzy feeling started to go. And okay, and I said, so what would be the solution? And so she said, oh, the solution would be that I could just let everything loose.
Yeah.
And
relax.
And relax. And so we did a tapping round on when I get this dizzy feeling, I choose to be relaxed and to let everything go. And nothing happened. And I said, well, is it difficult for you to let everything just loose and to relax? And she said, oh yes. I said, okay, all right. What happens when you relax and when you just let everything go? She said, well, you know, other people are watching. And I said, okay, right. And what's wrong with that? And she said, well, yeah, I don't think I'm. And she started to cry, and she said, I don't think I'm good enough.
That's quite heavy, you said.
Yeah, so often, but when she started to cry, I knew that we were reaching a core issue. So we went on and just went on this feeling of not being good enough. I'm not good enough. And so we tapped on that, and after a couple of rounds there was a big sigh of relief, like, ah. And I said, okay, something happened there, and I'm really watching. I'm curious, and I'm really observing when I treat someone. I'm very close. I'm very aligned with somebody and energetically balanced with somebody, but I'm observing. So I said, something happened there, and she said, oh yes, you know, I realized that actually when I think I'm not good enough, that's weird. Because actually, I don't dare to say it when people are around, but actually, I think I'm quite okay.
Yeah.
And she was really, when we stopped this session, and it was really funny, she was really radiating. She was really relieved. And I think that she hasn't been sick in the car, probably. So that's the way with physical pains, physical ailments, emotions obviously as well. Quite often emotional core issues are underlying, and when you solve the core issue, then the problem is solved as well.
So it's very often the underlying problem which is just being treated, while when people come with something superficial like car sickness,
Yeah.
and it's really about the things which are behind their emotions and the feelings behind it. Is that correct?
Yeah, often it is. Often physical ailments and diseases and physical complaints are somehow rooted in the emotional world, in their emotional state of being. And more often than not, if you balance their emotional state of being, then...
Thank you very much for this
Okay.
very clear explanation.
Okay, that was a pleasure. Bye.